Welcome to the tutorial on how to use Google Meet. I hope this video is going to be useful to you guys. As always, you can stop by my room F4 or email me at wandeld@esj.org and I can try to help you out. George Terry is another great resource as well. But to start, we're going to go to meet.google.com to take us to the website. So this is essentially what the website's going to look like. You'll be signed into Google up here, so just double check and make sure that you're under your school account. This is something the school has as part of the Google Suite. So we're going to join or start a meeting. This is going to be for my period 6 environmental science class. We'll hit continue. So when you go in, you're going to get confirmation. The video works, right? The microphone here is on. You can tell you're recording audio if you look at these 3 dots. When I speak, it's telling me that I have audio coming through. If I'm silent, it doesn't do anything. You also have the camera. You can control these, turn them on and off if you need to. So right now, the room is not open to anybody yet. And so nobody sees this. So if I wanted to turn off my camera, I could turn my camera off. When I leave my camera on, I click it back on. So you've got 2 options over here. When you start it, you want to start with the Join Now button. There's an option to present within this. So we're going to join now first. When you hit Join Now, you get this connection option. So copy the joining info. It'll copy it to your clipboard, and then you can easily paste this somewhere where the people can see it. I'm going to get a list of everybody in the room that's going to appear along the right side. I'm actually going to show you how I would attach it. So when I go to my shared homework doc, I'm sorry about the color here, but when I go to my shared homework doc, I can paste the link that they just gave me. When it pastes, the link doesn't activate, so if I just put a space after it, it'll turn it straight into a link. You can also just edit the hyperlink, but when I click on this, it's going to take me to the room. Now it's going to get weird if I try to join as 2 of the same person, so I'm going to switch to my personal email account so I can show you what it looks like having somebody else in the room with you. I'm going to mute both of these because I don't want any feedback, and because I'm not an ESJ account, I'm going to have to ask to join this video call. And so you may see that pop up. I'll show you what it looks like. So if I hit ask to join, that's putting a request to actual David Wandell. So this person gets a request. This is me, the teacher. Essentially, it's telling me that I have a student logging in not using their physical account. So it's up to you whether you want to deny entry or admit them. I'm going to admit myself. All right, I had a feedback issue because I was playing it through 2 screens at once. So at any rate, this is the teacher view here. I've got a tab over here where I can click and see everybody in the class. Right now, I have myself muted and my other self muted because I don't want the feedback issue to come through. But if you have students that are not muted, this will show those 3 green bars from before, and you'll be able to see when they talk. And so in this joining the meeting, everybody's kind of equal. And so whoever's talking, the screen is going to try to put their image on the screen here. So I like to tell my students, be careful about, your microphone. If you unmute it, somebody walks into the room or walks into the picture and says something to you, your screen's going to pop up, everybody's going to hear it. And so, it's probably best to leave your microphone muted. You can adjust your own microphone down here in the bottom left corner. So I'm putting my mouse down here near it. That red button there, if I unclick it, is going to unmute me, which allows, people to hear me again. From this screen, I've got an option to present. Let me try to get my screen. Oh, that's not what I want. Let me try to get my screen open all the way here. And switch it. Okay, so to switch it back to the original view to get my control panel, I just click into the open space here and it'll give me back to my control panel. So if I wanted to share a PowerPoint or a slideshow or a worksheet or something along those lines with the people and I wanted to walk them through the steps of it, I would click this Present Now button. So hit Present Now, it gives me 2 choices. Would we like to use the entire screen or would we like to just send a window to them? It's up to you. If you hit the entire screen, they see everything that's on your screen right now. If you click the window, it should just show them a window. I'm going to go with the entire screen. So I click entire screen. It asks me for my confirmation. I hit share. I'm probably going to get some kind of wild cascading effect going on right now, but we'll see if that happens. So from this view, I can switch it up and say, all right, here's the thing I want everybody to see. And so if I put this in front of my screen, it's what shows to little me, right? So if you look in this tiny little box up here, you can see that my student, other me, is looking at this document now. If I click onto them, it's not going to do a great job showing you that because it's going to show me looking at them, looking at me. And so it's kind of weird because I'm doing this both on the same machine, but it'll work well for students, right? So whatever you put onto your screen while you're presenting, they'll have a chance to see unless you've done that single window option. The other thing, let me go back. So I'm done presenting. We've gone through the instructions with it. You know, it's 15 minutes into the class. They've asked questions about it. If I want to answer questions, I've got this tab right here. This is the chat tab. And so it might be easier with a large group of people to type a message. I can say, hi, does anyone have a question about the assignment? Right? And this will allow them to kind of chat with you real time. If I stop my presentation here so we don't get the cascading effect, and I switch over to the observer, right? So this is the student watching. And right now there's nothing for them to see because I've muted my camera on the other side. They can see this thing, and I can respond to it. I can say, yes, Mr. Wandell, I have a question about the math in number 3. Right, and we can kind of go back and forth with each other, and so I can answer small questions like that, you know, as the presenter. I could also answer large questions, right? If it is recording my camera right now. I don't see myself; they see me. But I could also, you know, speak questions. I could unmute myself with the microphone here, and I could speak questions to them. You've got a couple other settings over here as well. I think, you know, the bulk of it is really going to be managing who's in the room, right? Here's my attendance, is going to be who's got questions. We can type them out in here to make it a little simpler if they're having trouble getting the chatter down. And then I can present my screen or my window. I'll show you the windowed one now. Let me present my window, which will share it with them, right? So maybe I want to share them the risk perception assignment. And so they see the risk perception assignment. So if I switch over to this tab, right, they're looking at that window. That window is a Google Doc I've got open. Sorry, I have a lot of tabs open right now. Right, so as I scroll on my screen, right, me, teacher, the student on the right side over here sees the changes I'm making. And so, you know, there's an error on the sheet somewhere, or we're collecting data, you know, doing a survey, and we wanted to type in 5.5. When I type that in on my screen, they see it happen on their screen. So we're essentially viewing the same document here. So I delete those two changes because I don't want that on my document. Put that back down. And so once we've gone over the instructions, you know, they can start up, or you know, they could be working on this. If this was a Google document, they could be working on this together, and maybe each student's filling in a different row. However, you know, you want to do it, you can be very creative about it. That's all I've got for the tutorial. If you do have a question about what we're doing with it or how to use the software, I'm happy to show you. Just to refresh back in the beginning, it's really important you start, let me leave it, I'll show you again. It's really important that you start the meeting with a present button rather than, or with a join now button rather than the present, right? I want to make sure I click join now first. There's some feedback because I didn't mute my microphone before joining. I want to make sure I hit join now first because the join now will guarantee that I have the volume control option. This mute button is there. I can turn myself on and off. It also guarantees that I get access to the chat, get access to the class roster, and that I can still present when I'd like to present. And so that is my tutorial there. You know, please feel free to stop by or email me if you have questions. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day.